Jordan Ellis here. I've got Jack Hermansson with me. How are you doing today, mate?
I'm all good, buddy. All good. Done with training, so now a couple of hours of relaxing.
Good. And how is training going? I know it's a bit difficult at the minute with everything going on in the world. How's that impacting your training?
It has been a little bit different and so on, but now it's starting to get less restrictions and it makes it a little bit easier. So we are on the right way, but there's been some challenges on the way. But I think that we have been creative and coped with it pretty well.
So, in terms of the challenges, what you were just speaking of, exactly what have they entailed? As what's actually changed for you day to day in training?
Both my martial arts gym and my training center where I do my strength and conditioning closed down. So we need to be outdoors and work around that.
And just to take a minute just to reflect on your last fight, obviously it didn't go the way you wanted, and you've had a bit of time to reflect on that. What do you make of it now, looking back?
I feel what happened in that fight was that I didn't follow the game plan leading up to that fight. We worked out on the stand-up game and to make him think about that before shooting for takedowns and so on. And I got a little bit locked into that I really wanted him to the ground, and it got a little bit too predictable, and it made it easier for him to time that uppercut where I shifted levels. So I think that's where I failed in that fight.
And is that something you need to address going into the next fight? Do you change anything in camp or in training or anything like that? Or is it just you just put that down to a bad night at the office and, crack on with the next one?
Well, it's definitely something I need to change, but it's not like we trained to do that. It was almost the opposite. So I think it's more a mental aspect that that you are superior in one area, and that makes you really want to get the fight there, but you gotta trust the process to get it there. And I think that's what I'm taking from that fight into the next one.
Well, on to the next one. First off, you were matched with Chris Weidman for a little while, and I just want to get your thoughts on that matchup and what happened. Why we're not seeing you fight Chris Weidman now?
We were scheduled, and then we, of course, the event got cancelled because of the corona situation, and I couldn't travel to the States, and there were many difficulties, and I'm not sure why we didn't rebook it for Fight Island. I think that Chris had some issues. I'm not sure, but he was not available for Fight Island. So we need to find someone else, and I came with the suggestion that Gastelum would be a perfect fight. And Gastelum had spoken to media about that as well, that he wanted to fight me. So after some discussions, the UFC agreed to the fight, and I feel like it turned out to something better actually, because I actually rather want the Gastelum fight.
Yeah, it is a bit of a fight now. He's obviously had a great fight with Israel Adesanya, who's the champion. What do you make of Kelvin as an opponent?
I think he's a great opponent, and I've been following him for years. I watched that season of the Ultimate Fighter that he won, and he's a great fighter. And as you mentioned, the Adesanya fight, when he is on his best, he's really good, and that's the guy that I'm think that I will face on Fight Island. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
So you're going to be facing the best Gastelum. What's your plan to deal with that type of fighter? Because as you said, on his day, he is a great fighter.
Yeah, I need to be on my best as well to be able to beat him. So knowing that he's so good, it's gonna sharpen me. It's gonna bring the best out of me as well. And I believe that I really need to do those adjustments from the last fight there, be unpredictable, and use all of my tool set to win the fight. I think that's the key.
And in your mind, I'm sure you're playing it out in your mind how this fight goes. How do you see it going? How do you see you getting your hand raised at the end?
I always prefer a early finish, but when I see it happen, I'm seeing a long, grueling fight, 3 rounds, and me finishing the fight in the end of the 3rd round.
You're going to be fighting on Fight Island, so what do you make of that? The whole concept, the idea? Are you excited by that?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's got a lot of hype, and it's cool that UFC can put on shows as it is now, and I believe the fans are really excited to see what it's going to look like, what it's all about. So I will have a preview the week before when the first Fight Island goes down. And I'm looking forward to see how it will be over there. So it's probably gonna be a little bit different. No crowd, a lot of testing, and you're only allowed to move in a restricted area. But I feel like the UFC is doing a great job to keep us and everybody else safe down there.
And as you just mentioned, there is going to be no crowd. And how do you think that would affect you? Have you ever, fought in that type of atmosphere before?
No, but it's everyday sparring is without crowd. So I believe that it's not going to be any problem. It's probably going to be great to hear my coaches, for example, to hear them speak, which you normally don't because of all of the loud crowd. So that's a good aspect of it.
And what's the plan? Like, have UFC told you when you'll be flying and how you'll get there, and once you get there, what you'll need to be doing and things like that?
I know that we need to first travel to London and take a COVID test, then go into quarantine for 2 days in a hotel room there, and then we'll travel down to Abu Dhabi, and then we might repeat that process. I'm not 100% sure, but there is some things that we need to go through before we are cleared.
Okay, well, hopefully all that works out. Yeah, just before I let you go, one last thing. We have got potentially Adesanya Costa being the tough coaches. Just want to get your opinions on that fight and how that might play out.
Yeah, that's definitely a season I'm gonna watch, and I think it's gonna be an interesting season, and it's also gonna be a great fight. I think Israel is a wizard. He's so technical, especially with his stand-up, and he's a great fighter. But I have a small advantage to Costa in this one, actually. I think that his forward pressure style and his powerful physique is gonna be hard for Israel to deal with. So a small edge to Costa in that one.
And another fight on the island we've got is Till against Whitaker. Just want to get your opinions on that one as well, because it's a big fight in the middleweight division, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's I feel like that's a little bit closer to me, and I would love to fight the winner of that fight if I can beat Kelvin, for example. That would be a great contender fight. So I'm gonna have my eyes on that as well. It's gonna be a great fight, two great stand-up fighters again, and of course Robert, the former champ, and Till, high-profile fighter as well. Because of Whitaker's past, I'll give the edge to him. But it's gonna be a good one for sure.
So with a win over Kelvin, is that who you're kind of gunning for? The winner of Till Whitaker? Is that your next fight, ideally?
Yeah, I would prefer that. Definitely.
Okay. Well, hope your training goes well and the fight goes well for you. That's everything from me, unless you've got anything to add.
No, all good. Thank you
No.
for having me.
Thanks for your time. Thank you. Bye now.